Yo, what up?
Yo.
This is the Eye2Eye podcast, the Eye2Eye cast,
Yeah,
www.savetheworld.com.
Save the world.
Yes.
What up? I'm Jay Soul.
I'm E.
King Diggs.
Kill Bill.
What up? What up?
What up?
We're here. We're here to bring to you this week. What are we talking about? Agenda 2030. Dun dun dun. The United Nations in 1993, under George Bush Sr., decided that the United Nations altogether decided that they need to keep track of the planet and possibly, put it back on the right track, to them, what they say, supposedly, which would be what they talk about when you look it up. Agenda 2030 is mostly a one world government, which, in my opinion, would be the UN. A one world government that has control over everything. We're all citizens under the one world government. This government to get to the end goal of 2030, that's their goal. It's basically an inventory on the whole world. So an inventory, like if you were a retail worker, if you will, you go in to your job and you count every single thing on the shelf and then put it in a computer and you let the store know how much you got. In this instance, they'll be counting all farmlands, all water resources, every citizen of the world, our whole entire population, trying to track us, phones, and just link all technology together to basically make it how they say, easier for the world to get better, I guess. That's what they say. It's funny, too, when you look it up really fast, when I looked it up maybe 5-10 years ago, conspiracy theorist this, 2130 that, and now when you look it up, it's the nicest things anyone could say. Yeah. Now when you look it up, it's the first thing to pop up or this person talking about it, but it's not like
dressed up in
it's dressed up nicely on the TED Talks and all this shit, as opposed to 10 years ago where it was, listen, 2030 is the Great Reset, like the Great Reset. If you guys heard about that goes along with Agenda 2030 as well. In my opinion, Agenda 2030 is the New World Order takeover. That's their implication.
But it's disguised as we know what's best for you.
Yeah.
Like
We know what's best.
We know the planet.
What do you think it's going to be, like chips and people and stuff like that?
I don't know. I mean, what you can do is look who's involved, and so a main contributor of it is Bill Gates, of course. I actually haven't written down. Hold on. I mean, when you take into account Bill Gates doing all this shit, like, what do you guys think?
Well,
he's got his hands too many pies, in my opinion.
If our man Bill is doing it, then we're going to get chips in our brains.
It's everything bad for some
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
Like, you don't got no good
Even to the believers of conspiracy theories, his name is still bad.
Yeah.
Like you still hear
And
bad about
it's
him.
fucked up, though, because, like, Bill Gates was, like, somebody to look up to, back in the day. Maybe because his agenda
propaganda.
was more hidden.
Well,
and
now
of
he's
course,
just a moron.
But I'm just saying, maybe he wasn't always a terrible person.
The only reason why people ever looked up to him because he was filthy rich.
Yeah.
Money.
Nothing
and
else.
extremely
Like, that was it.
intelligent.
Yeah, and now
Yeah,
look
but
at
is
him
he
now.
really that smart?
This just proves money is the root of all evil. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, how great is Microsoft actually? Like,
that
is he
shit
really that
actually
smart?
sucks. Shit sucks, bro.
He is
Right.
that smart.
Yeah.
He's basically taking over the world, so
he seems
he's
like
that smart.
He's just a con artist.
Yeah, well, Bill Gates seems like the kid who was terribly bullied his whole entire life and then finally figured out he was gonna connect all the computers in the world and take it over. You know what I mean?
Like Pinky in the Brain.
Yeah, I
Pinky
guess.
Brain.
I wouldn't. I guess he's kind of
Yeah,
shaped
he's
like
like-
he's
So
shaped
then who
like
would
Pinky,
be-
but he's the
yeah,
brain.
So who would be Pinky then?
Fucking his wife.
His wife, yeah.
I know a lot. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I still like Elon Musk.
Nah, Elon Musk is.
I fucks with him.
Yeah, Elon Musk is the one there to keep going. I mean, we could do a whole podcast.
I
on
don't
that.
have nothing against Elon Musk, but I just don't think he's an alien.
I mean, I think so
Elon
too.
Musk is like a cyborg.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, he is like really weird.
Either he's an alien or he's
A robot.
he put the Neuralink chip already in his brain.
Oh, he
That's
did.
like-
He did. He
Well,
said he did.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he
Yeah.
claimed.
I think I could have sworn I think he said it on the Joe Rogan podcast.
I don't know.
He said I think he did. He already put it in his brain.
Anyway,
Smart.
back to 2030. Bill Clinton, at one point during his presidency, put an executive order in saying that every community in the United States has to abide by Agenda 2030 when it comes around. So they've been planning this for like
Lovely.
years and years and years. Yes. And the main theory, the main thing that I keep coming across when you look it up, it's population. That's the words they use. Population stabilization. Those are the pretty dressed up words they use.
So kill off a lot of people?
Well, I don't know about kill off. They're not saying kill off.
Or prevent births?
Back to Bill Gates. When you take in, he comes from a family of eugenics lovers. That's what it's called, eugenics? Yeah. So he comes from a family of people who think that the population needs to be controlled. And then you take into account maybe a couple TED Talks he's done, and he explains that you could use vaccines to target religious parts of people, the genes that make people religious or different. You could use a vaccine to target different genes.
He was talking about the part of your brain in, I think, the frontal cortex that believes, like, has like faith, that you believe in something. And that doesn't necessarily even have to be religion, but they did testing to kind of see, when you talk to that person about God, I think they were under an MRI or a CAT scan or something, that part of their brain lit up. So that's how they specifically knew what part it had to do with religion and God or whatever. And then somebody whose brain didn't light up, like an atheist or something like that, that's how they were able to, discern which part of the brain they should target. And with that, he can develop, a vaccine under the guise that this is how we stop extreme like terrorists from killing in the name of their religion and stuff like that. And I guess that's disguised too as a
I was just thinking about this actually today, back to what you were saying before about like the whole depopulation, killing off people and everything. And for those people who are like freaks at believing in depopulation and all this mass shootings and all this stuff happening just being a depopulation or whatever the case may be, hypothetically, if that's true, that just shows how much of like a straightforward contradiction that is, because they're trying to depopulate the whole world, but then they'll give you extra money on your taxes to have for children. So it's pretty much like, okay, well, I will give you extra money to have a kid, but we're just gonna kill them.
Yeah, but it's kind of a long game, bro, because you can't just be like, hey, bro, listen, we want to kill the whole population. Everybody be like, no.
Nah,
but
But I feel like it's a very slow.
But it's like,
of course.
But
it's
I feel like that's a long game that's just they're never gonna catch up to, because the more you're gonna keep giving people money to have children.
Maybe, but hear this. What if you, just like now with coronavirus, let's take that into consideration, how a lot of businesses going out. They're paying us. We're starting to see socialism in the United States, right? Mm-hmm. Like we're starting to see, universal basic income kind of. And I didn't even know this, but right now you can get $300 for unemployment for doing fucking nothing, even if you haven't worked. I'm about to get that shit. You feel me? But so they're kind of doing universal basic income kind of to where, and you think about to where people don't want to work because working makes you almost the same amount of money, if not less, than you would get from unemployment. So why the fuck would I work this 40 to 50 hour fucking a week job to fucking and not take care of my kids and not see them, not see my girl, whatever? And why wouldn't I just get the unemployment? And they're kind of setting this up. And then if you take it a step farther and you even think back to like all the people we know and like in the hood, like bitches are popping out babies so that way they can get extra money on their tax returns. You feel me?
And child
support. Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like that's the incentive.
And it's not even a tax return. They get straight up food stamps and money from the government for every child that they have. It's not even just
and
the
to
taxes.
even qualify for that stuff,
It's
you have
monthly.
to be like pretty much poor
And not have a fucking job. And that's the whole incentive to stay there. And how this ties into population control is you take all those hood motherfuckers and you give them generations like that, and then they're just killing each other off because they're joining gangs and overdosing on drugs. And they don't have opportunities. That's an easy way for population control. You give these people the opportunity to kill themselves, basically. You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's I think that in some twisted form, I do think that corporations do profit off of stuff like that.
Oh, they do.
They have
You
to.
know what
I
I
mean,
mean?
the first and 15th motherfuckers are going to buy crab legs every day. You feel me? The crab industry is going off.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait.
What?
What?
What are you
Wait.
talking about?
I said the 1st and the 15th, motherfuckers are going to buy crab legs.
Is that a thing?
The 1st and
No,
15th.
this motherfucker thinks it's a thing. No, it's not.
Are we
I'm
talking?
just talking shit.
I think he's
Is
just
that
like
a
doing
is that a racial
stereotype
slur?
thing right
I'm
now.
doing
I
a
was gonna
very
say, is that
big
a racial slur?
stereotype. Yes,
I
yes,
don't
yes.
like
that a racial slur?
Racism.
Is that a stereotype towards black people?
I
I didn't even say
I think
black.
it-
You all say black.
We know who
I
you're
didn't say
talking
it.
Yeah, you're
about.
saying hood motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like, we know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
who else is hood
Do you
motherfucker?
like, do
Hey.
you like crab legs?
No.
I love, first of all, I love
Oh, here we
crab and
go.
lobster,
He loves
but
chicken too, right?
I do, but it's disgusting. Crab and lobster are fucking gross. Did it stop recording?
Yeah.
I
was afraid it did.
All right, keep going.
Anyway, well, I mean, and that's that's another thing with this whole Agenda 2030 is it's all a blueprint for like a global enslavement of humanity under the boot of big corporations.
Yeah, every time we talk about shit like
Yep.
this, I just
Get so bad.
why? Why do they want to do this? Like, what is their point behind it?
It's literally
Power.
power, like power and
It's
like
control, bro.
that's the one high that people don't feel but they yearn
To
for.
control the whole planet.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like
No, but it's not, but I'm not even talking about a planet. Just in general, like that's one high that people don't physically feel but yearn for. Because you think about it, like if you have power over something, you take advantage of that. Every
And you're
time
like
you
a
have power,
god.
yeah. But like
You don't
Alright,
have to take advantage.
think
of
about
it.
in a video game. You know, if you conquer a quest or start conquering a video game and you become this like high mighty person with this big rep, like you take advantage of that. You start actually going out and like buying stuff in a video game. You know,
I get-
maybe
I
a
get
bad
what
example,
you're
but you
saying,
know what I
but
mean. Like,
this is
I mean,
like-
we can go a
We're
lot.
talking about the whole planet here.
We
Like,
can
No,
go a
I
lot
know,
more
but that's what I'm
abstract.
saying.
What?
Like we can say that maybe they know something that we don't when it comes to
No, that's a
Yeah,
fact.
well,
already.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can keep going, but I won't.
Like,
all right. Let's put it like this. That's why like so many people quit from their jobs because they end up getting a boss that they can't stand because that boss has become such a dictator. You know,
Yeah.
and that's from power. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
they get
true.
power and they start like demanding. You do this, you do that, while they sit on their ass.
You know what? I think that I think that they think that they're better than all of us.
Oh, absolutely.
That them like the 1,000 or 2,000 people that they are, maybe it's that many. I think that they think. Well, I know
we're
that they
a bunch
think.
of cockroaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
cockroaches, and it's funny too because we're not. Without us, bro, they don't have.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna go mop the goddamn floors. You
Yeah.
feel me? Like they're not gonna go harvest our food. They're not gonna do any of that. So they actually, in a way, they need us, and like it's kind of funny that.
They need us because we participate
Yeah.
in their game.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
if we just didn't participate,
The,
then they would be
Yeah.
fucked.
Yes.
You feel me?
But
Like
you have to get everybody to not participate.
Yeah.
and
yeah.
the funny thing is they really think they have the upper hand, but in hindsight, like we're younger, we're faster, we're stronger.
but
you
they
know,
do
then
have the upper
physically formed. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
half of the higher ups, like they're all like what, like 70, 80 years old.
Yeah, they are.
You know what I mean? And we're bigger, faster,
All right, but
stronger.
think-
Put me in a room with one of them and see what
That's
happens.
But who's after them? You feel me?
But that's what the thing
their
is.
children are after them. There's bloodlines, and they
You can't
purposely
touch
do.
them.
But yeah,
You can't touch them. These people probably grew up being like doing all types of rituals. Like this is what's in their family. You know what I mean? Like
and the crazy part is and when it comes to say us, maybe not, but them, but us as a nation, they do have the upper hand because half these people, as you know, they so-called sheep. You know what I mean? Like they follow their every move. Oh well, they said that you should be doing this, so that's what I'm gonna do. Maybe if we all, just like you said, we got to get everybody to not participate. So if everybody literally understands that they're not here for us, they're not here to do good by us, and like if everybody just turned against the higher up, oh, it would be a shit show.
I agree, but
We'd
like
outnumber them.
We do outnumber them. One thing, I feel like they're targeting the children younger than us now.
oh, they are.
They are.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
their main target.
Yeah.
That's their main
They
target. As well as, are you willing to give up watching basketball? Are you willing to give up fucking watching the Grammys? Are you willing to give up social media?
All
Are
these
you willing to
stupid
give up?
worldly things.
Yeah. Are you willing to give up most of the material world, so that way you could actually fight back? Or do you truly enjoy your entertainment too much? And me personally, bro, I love YouTube. You feel me? Like I love
So
fucking.
you wouldn't give it up to save?
I would give it up to save the world, but bro, I'm just one fucking person. And
Well, but that and exactly like I love football, but you know if I knew that there was a fighting chance, like I'd stop watching.
Would you guys be able to live in like a cabin with absolutely
with
nothing?
no electricity? Absolutely.
I could only because I can draw, so I'll just be
I've
doing
done
that.
it before.
I think we
No,
all
no,
can.
I'm just
You
saying.
wouldn't have a choice if you got thrown in the cabin.
I mean, if you
So
wouldn't,
live here.
but we
Well, no,
have a
I'm
choice.
saying
We're
if you
making
had
a
a
choice
choice,
right now.
if you had a choice, if the world was turning into what we're talking about, and you had a choice to go off the grid, you guys think you'd be able to? And
Yeah,
would you?
absolutely.
I think
And
I
would you?
I would love to. I would love to.
Yeah, but are you all really ready to go hunt for your food every day and
Yeah,
then
we're
skin
gonna
that
have that
shit?
shit.
Yes.
It's either that or
I'm gonna be a vegetarian.
We can
No,
grow.
I
But
wouldn't
can you
want to
even
be
grow
vegetarian.
food? I know I
Yeah.
can't. I can
I
only
can
grow
grow food.
one thing that I know how to grow as of right now. And
Jay, here we go.
I'm just saying. No, I'm serious though. Like, I don't know how to grow a fucking.
He grows.
How hard
I
could
don't-
it be,
Cilantro.
bro? The whole world didn't have internet when they was making gardens.
It can't.
It's really not hard.
But we're living in a different. All right, we live in a different world. One and two. You guys got to think about soil. Like we can't. You can't just go plop down anywhere and grow a fucking garden. The soil has to be right. You have to make sure you have this, that, and the
for
third.
certain types of foods, it has to be right.
The soil always has to be right. Well, I'm saying like we can't go to the desert, and this is the reason we can't
Yeah.
go to the desert and grow food.
well, the climate.
rain.
you're
Partially
saying.
because of the climate, but also partially because that the reason the desert partially is the desert is because that land has been like basically picked clean. Like they've grown so much in that land that you can't keep growing any longer for another like generation or two until the soil finally regains the nutrients they've overgrew in that place in particular.
Well,
What?
Really?
Yeah. You can't grow in the same place for fucking forever. You can't.
Well, no, but I feel like that's not what happened to the desert.
Yeah, I don't think
No,
so.
that's
either.
part of it. That's the natives and shit. The natives have been here fucking way before the white people ever came here. You
So
think they
you're
weren't
saying
doing
that
that shit?
deserts are created from overgrowing?
Oh, no. That's not what I'm saying. I'm
Okay.
saying over farming ruins land. That was my point here.
Okay.
And I'm saying in the Midwest, where the desert starts, not where the desert is. I'm saying where the desert starts, that's how it's continuing, and they're going to continue to do that. The desert's going to keep getting bigger. The closer they keep growing towards the desert, you feel me? They're going to have to keep pulling back just a little bit and a little bit, but eventually you're going to ruin the soil. That's the point here, is that you can ruin the soil, and like we don't know the correct soil. Is my point here, is that I don't know what the fuck.
I don't think that you really need the correct soil for like tomatoes and like.
Tomatoes are one of the hardest plants to grow,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah,
And
Really?
yeah,
My
they're
mom grew tomatoes in our
they're
backyard,
hard.
no problem.
They're hard. Your mom's fucking
Just
genius.
use
well,
Plop them
yeah,
up in there.
it could be in the right spot too.
I mean,
because you need the
manure,
right amount.
shit.
You need the right amount of sunlight, the right amount of rain. You need the right amount of soil, the right amount of manure. Like you need,
Do you know tomatoes grow like weed? That's basically like what you would if I go into a store and I'm like, hey, I want to grow weed. No, I want to grow tomatoes, and they're gonna explain the entire tomato growing process, and I'm gonna use it as growing weed, basically. Like that's the allegory there. I fucking know my pot grower friends from way back when.
And they compared it to growing tomatoes.
Yes. When they go into the hydroponic store, they're like, hey, I'm growing tomatoes, and this is what I have to do. And they're like, all right, blah, 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 blah. And they get them set up with a hydroponic.
I never thought that growing tomatoes was difficult. That's crazy.
well,
And then grow some weed.
I do also think that it is also human instinct. Like I think if it came down to it and you knew you had to start doing stuff like that, I think
You'll
you can
figure it out.
your mind, your body and mind, like you'll just adapt.
I
Like,
hope.
you can adapt. That's what the body does. It adapts.
You're right, but we've been out of touch with nature for so fucking long, for
That's very
generations
Yeah,
now.
and there are people who adapt faster than others, but I mean, one way or another, I think it would get to a point to where you can adapt.
I'm gonna be nasty with a plow.
I'm gonna be nasty with a hoe. Hey.
Anyway, so getting back to the Agenda 2030. I have
Grow
an
your
idea
own
here.
food.
I have an idea here. So I got this website on. It's an article about this whole thing, and they pretty much mention like all the goals that they have out for Agenda 2030.
Okay.
So there's like massive amounts. There's over like I think like 20 or 30 of them. So we're not gonna go through all of them, but we'll go through the first like 5.
Go ahead.
And each goal we'll talk about that goal.
Okay, let's do it. Could you add this one in there? Abolishment of private property.
Add that where? Oh, in this.
Yeah, in the list.
Okay. All right.
Just
Well,
make sure
alright,
that's one of them.
alright. All right. So just if you can remind me.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
because I didn't write this.
Tell
Well,
the
I
first
didn't write
one.
this down.
All right, still the first one.
All right. So the goal one is end poverty in all forms everywhere. Translation: put everyone on government welfare, food stamps, housing subsidies, and handouts that make them obedient slaves to global government. Never allowed people upward mobility to help themselves. Instead, teach mass victimization and obedience to a government that provides monthly allowance money for basic essentials like food and medicine. Label it ending poverty.
Okay, that's the poverty I was trying to get to.
That was that?
Yeah. Oh. So basically, they're talking about the abolishment of private property. How could we do that? How do you guys...
So you would no longer own anything. Everything is owned by the government, and we're just giving you money to survive.
But we could say that,
like Cuba.
that does. It's communism.
Yeah.
But we could say it, we could read it off the fucking thing. But anyone listening, can you guys theorize? I think I have an idea of how that would go down and how we're leading there. But you guys, anybody want to touch down on that before I do?
Well, I think...
how are we going there? How are they doing it?
Well, that's
right
what
now?
I'm saying. And I feel like if you're... trying to figure out how to put it in words. All right,
kind of doing that right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Corona.
Well, yeah. Say they come to you and are like, all right, look, we will give you $50,000 a year to own your house, your car, and all this stuff, and more money goes on.
Yeah.
I think people will actually. I mean, I could be wrong, but maybe then is when people will be like, wait, all right, hold the fuck up. This is my house. I bought this. This is my house, my land. I don't owe any mortgage. I don't owe anything. This is mine.
But see,
and it's not worth $50,000.
When they finally do try that, they'll probably have everybody in debt. You
Exactly.
get what I'm saying? They're going to be trying to sell this shit.
That's what I was trying to get to. We're here. You feel me?
Yeah.
COVID, fucking end of 60-70% of businesses, student loans, and you don't forget, student loans we're still going up there. They're still... college tuition is still going up right this second.
I guarantee if a student had a lot of student loans and they went to them and said, "Hey, look, if you give us your house, we'll
you got 100,000 in debt."
Yeah.
I'd be take it.
Exactly. So my opinion, they're using COVID. You kill off the small businesses. Now we're all fucking hungry. Half the nation's starving. They're gonna wait, and they're gonna wait another year, maybe 2 years, and 2 years from now. Fucking children are gonna be starving on the fucking side of the road. You feel me? They are, but it's gonna be fucking 10 times worse. And they're gonna put the country or the world into a position where they're so fucking broke that when the universal basic income comes around,
we're gonna be begging for it.
Yeah, we're gonna be like, oh my god, thank God they came around and saved us. You feel me?
I mean, people are doing that right now with just the stimulus checks.
Exactly. I mean, good looks. I need the money, but I don't need the money. I don't need the fucking money, you feel me? I can go get money elsewhere. I don't need, but not everybody is so capable to be able to go figure out what the fuck to do. And some people fucking 40, 50 years old can only go to AC Moore, old ladies. It's so sad, but you feel me? I'm sorry. They can't keep giving us stimulus checks. They can't keep putting $2 trillion on our fucking national debt every 6 months.
Not
4
even
months,
a quarter.
Okay,
well,
all right, but you say that, but how do you?
Bill Gates got $30.5 billion out of this shit this last round.
So by you saying that, how do you think that they're going to be able to buy our houses and do all this stuff and start giving us money?
It's not so much give us money. It's kind of maybe making. They might, I don't know 100%, but maybe like
a monthly allowance.
Maybe a monthly allowance, maybe shit'll just be free, but you only get one and you can only get fucking...
What do you mean? All they got to do is...
That's not going to happen.
All they have to do is pass some legislature that says you don't have your house anymore. And that's it.
Yeah, nobody... All they have to do is pass legislation.
Yeah,
nobody owns a house any longer. That's it.
Well,
and then 6 months from then, nobody longer owns a car anymore. And boom, you're fucking don't have it closed anymore.
Yeah, we can talk about the long game, but it could also be a very short game where, everything goes to shit and they do whatever they want.
But see, and then that's when it comes into everybody realizing what the hell is going on.
But that's what they want. If we revolt, if the people go out in the fucking streets, that gives them all the reason to kill everybody. They have all the reason to fucking shoot people down in the fucking streets when they want. That's why Biden's
why are these we voted for these
Biden's
people?
we did.
They're supposed not we, but the American people. I just don't
supposed to
understand
be
how
working
they
for us.
get into office and then
pretend they're in charge.
And
pretend they're in charge.
Weird.
Yeah, bro.
All right, moving on to goal number 2.
All right, go. Let's do it.
All right. end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. Translation: invade the entire planet with GMOs and
A little extreme here, Billy.
But I'm reading.
I know.
Invade the entire
Sound
planet with
about right to me.
GMOs and Monsanto's
The company, yeah.
patented seeds while increasing the use of deadly herbicides under the false claim of increased output of food crops. Engineer genetically modified plants to boost specific vitamin chemicals while having no idea of the long-term consequences of genetic pollution or cross-species genetic experiments carried out openly in a fragile ecosystem.
I like it. Pass me that?
That?
Yeah. So that's it? You done? With your sentiment? All right,
So
let's
pretty much
break it down. Go. You want to break it down? Everything you just said.
I mean,
She
just
wasn't
pretty
paying
much.
attention.
Yeah, I was.
Uh,
Pump it, like pretend that, oh my God, look at all this abundance of food that we have and look what we're doing for you. But instead, that food's killing everybody.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like they created a bunch of problems, and now they're trying to give us to the solutions to the problems that they created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Purposely.
Yeah.
Well, I think that also comes into play with what you were saying before, that we're all going to go hungry. Now that they're making all these GMOs, they're going to make even worse food and fake food and be like, here,
Well, we
kind of
got-
give you jail food.
What,
Like,
Impossible burgers and shit. It tastes good. I just don't.
Imposters or whatever.
Impossible.
Impossible.
Yeah, Impossible burgers. Like, they taste good. I just don't. All
You
that
know
soy
damn
is
well
not
they're
good for you.
probably
You
fake.
feel me? Well, it's a whole bunch of soy, and specifically in men, if we're eating soy that has mad estrogen, so we're just
Yeah.
adding estrogen to our bodies.
Yeah.
That doesn't add up to me. And we could also dive into Bill Gates once again and a few other billionaires buying up a whole bunch of land all over
Gates,
the
what up?
world.
Getting into agriculture.
Yeah. Bill Gates and agriculture. There you go, dude. He's a fucking. Yo,
He got
fuck
his
you,
hand
Bill
in
Gates. Like, what?
You got his hand in everything.
Facts, bro. Everything
I mean,
weird.
he's gonna be able to. He literally every aspect of human life, he's gonna be able to control, including your food supply. He's gonna poison it,
Including your DNA.
and
Say it again?
Your DNA, he will be able to control.
Yeah.
I bet you in about 8 years or so, he's going to try and run for president.
I don't think so, bro. I think he's
I
gonna
hope
stay
not.
right where, or he's
Nah,
gonna
he
be.
might be.
Wait. No, wait. Chill. He'll be the president of the UN once it's the new world order. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Yeah, right?
Bill Gates will be the one on top.
He probably got more power than the president. So what the fuck you need to be president for?
Exactly, bro. I don't even think he wants to be. I think he wants to be able to sit in the back and do whatever the fuck he wants. What else? Fucking keep going, because I got some. You see the Microsoft shit that they make now? They're making Microsoft passes for kids to be at school, and you get like a number, like you're linking your name to an ID, and they're doing it in California. Linking your name to an ID, and you get a new serial number every day, so you can walk into school and scan the pass and all this bullshit, bro. That's fucking ridiculous. Scary, bro.
it's always California.
Yep.
It's always
Yeah,
the
it's always
kids.
California.
It's always the kids first, though, bro. They're trying to attack the kids first. But they got the shit. Like, think about public schools. Like, they've always progressively got, like, it's basically prison food, more or less. You feel
They
me?
got just
Yeah.
California. Period is like homeless fucking city right now. Like
Yeah, but why aren't they dying from COVID?
that's a good question.
What else you got, Billy?
This one's a little out there, a little weird. Goal 3: ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. Translation: mandate 100+ vaccines for all children and adults at gunpoint, threatening parents with arrest and imprisonment if they refuse to cooperate. Push heavy medication use on children and teens while rolling out screening programs. Call mass medication prevention programs and claim they improve the health of citizens.
They already do that, inventing like ADD and ADHD, and then
Yeah,
making
yeah.
the kids think that all the energy that they have needs to be controlled
Yeah.
by
Yep.
medication. Like, no, your kid is obviously way too intelligent for the people around him
Yep.
and isn't being challenged enough.
Or
Or
it's just not
two-
challenged enough because not everybody fucking learns the same. You feel
Yeah,
me? But go ahead,
or
go ahead.
two,
That doesn't
they
make it-
they have a lot of energy because they're a child, so they should be put in like more sports or
Yeah,
activities.
They need something to
tire
stimulate
them
their
out.
brain. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I mean, coming from me, like I was diagnosed with all classes of ADD, ADHD, dyslexia, all that stuff. And I was put on medicine for about a week and my mom took me off, and I was like, aren't I supposed to be taking my pill? She's straight like cursed everything. Was like, no, fuck that. Yeah. She was like, you were like a zombie. You weren't yourself. Like you didn't talk. You didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So I was like,
It's just kind of suppressing.
At the end of the day, you're putting kids on drugs.
Yeah,
That's
you're imprisoning. You're imprisoning that child's mind. Like he doesn't have any expression to himself. Mind. Yeah.
And honestly, like watching certain TV shows, I can see it so much more clear now that them actually doing the vaccine at gunpoint and stuff like that. Like I could see that totally happen.
That video clip in Russia where they was kicking in doors and just sticking needles in your arms.
Nah.
Swear to God.
Yo, I'll look it up.
Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Let me I gotta look that up. Listen, bro. Today I saw a news article of a woman who got arrested for not wearing a mask while bringing her child to school. A woman was arrested. Was she outside? Yeah, she was just bringing her to school. She was dropping her off to school. I'm pretty sure and then they fucking arrested her for not wearing a mask then. And then, I saw another video, a fucking woman in Texas. Oh, this is the thing about the fucking masks and shit. Texas lifts the mandate, right? And yet, a woman gets arrested the very next day or 2 days later for not wearing a mask in a Bank of America. Because now the big businesses are making the rules and saying that you have to wear a mask in my store, like no shirt, no shoes, no service type of shit. You feel me? Wow. So nobody's listening.
No,
I know you guys are.
No, I'm listening. I'm trying to see what else I can.
My friends are. It's all right. I have friends and they're behind the cameras.
Because we're not really his friends.
Yep. They listen.
I don't know. All right, hold on.
I
do think that the whole gunpoint thing is a little outlandish. I don't think they'll.
It's figuratively though, bro. It's figuratively, but they can.
I think they're going to do it through manipulation.
Manipulation, but they can.
Manipulation. We don't know Russian, so.
Шагу со стороны властей.
А что происходит вообще? Скажите, пожалуйста.
Чтобы исключить распространение коронавируса в Уссурийском районе, было решено организовать специальные санитарные группы, которые будут работать с населением и выявлять тех, кто по разным причинам до сих пор не обезопасил себя от опасного вируса.
Да я, если честно, я в шоке, просто понять не могу. Это что вообще, блин, что это такое? Или, может, кота еще привьете, блин, на самом деле. Что у меня действительно все больные, что ли, ходят здесь?
На одном из подобных медицинских рейдов побывал председатель исполнительного комитета Виталий Наливкин.
Тебе что, трудно было самому сходить сделать прививку? Вот это видишь? Вот это продолжение твоей жизни. Как ты этого понять не можешь?
Проведение подобных мероприятий по ускоренной вакцинации населения впредь будет организовано на постоянной основе. По словам Виталия Наливкина, граждане, не испытавшие на себе действие новой вакцины, не будут допущены к работе в бюджетных организациях, а также будут лишены возможности обслуживаться в госучреждениях.
He definitely just told her, if you don't take this shot, I'm gonna put a hockey puck down your mouth.
That's this nigga in his office working. This is outrageous.
You know, they forced all of Israel to get it too.
Yeah.
And now, people in Israel and people who don't have it in Israel can't go anywhere and do anything.
Yeah.
Fucking, I saw a video of some lady and she was crying and shit because of it. Anyway, this video is all to say that they're holding us at gunpoint and they can do whatever.
Yeah, but that's fucking Russia, bro. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
And they will try to do it here just in more discreet,
like the Handmaid's Tale.
Go ahead, explain it. I could fucking that. If anything, that shows the aftermath of what could happen.
Yeah.
Fucking God forbid the vaccine makes everybody infertile. Yeah, I fucking said it. God forbid. I don't know if it's true, but if it's a possibility, isn't that scary enough?
Have you guys ever watched The Handmaid's Tale?
No, we're men.
So?
It's a predominantly woman acting show.
I mean, yeah, but it's definitely worth.
Go ahead. Just give the over plot.
Basically, something happens in the world, and I don't know if it was a vaccine or what it was, but it made a large majority of the women in all around the world infertile.
Yeah,
so
sounds like a vaccine.
Yeah. Right? So what America decided to do was create this man-driven society where the goal was for repopulation, but also like power and control, and they called it like Gilead. And all the women that still were fertile became what's handmaids. And so they were each assigned to like a commander's house that had a wife. And the handmaids would be used to like have sex with so that the commander can impregnate them and then take the baby that the handmaid has for their household.
For they're all rich motherfuckers.
Yeah, they're all like rich.
Everybody
like all
like,
the wealthy like rulers.
And all the poor
so
people
pretty much
just...
like these poor handmaids are getting raped, and like the scenes are so crazy because like the wife has to be like in the room, like so like the handmaid like lays down in like the wife's lap with her head in the wife's lap, and then like the commander like screws her like from the front.
Basically had Jews.
Like
whoa,
and
nobody heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it's like a really like fucked up show. But watching it, I'm kind of like, oh my god, this could happen at any point in America. It could totally happen.
That's what it is, bro. It's people like at the top could just decide to do whatever they want, whenever the fuck they want to do it. But they even
said it that it was in the show. They said that it was a slow progression that people like didn't even notice at first. What they started, you know, kind of like doing speeches and going and whatever, and then all of a sudden, all the corporations started firing all the women, like from all their jobs. Like women weren't allowed to work anymore. Like the first scene is like this like big CEO guy firing like all the women from like the corporate building.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What is it called again?
Handmaid's Tale.
We're
it's like a
Netflix?
series of books too. It's on Hulu.
Yeah, we could be
really
on we could be on our way there if I don't know, man. I'm just not trying to play with my body and put. It's bad enough I smoke cigarettes and shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't need to put any other foreign
damage to myself.
Yeah, with my choosing. Why should anybody else decide what? I mean, look at a vaccine like a fucking abortion for a woman. Like her body, her choice. That's how the world should be. You feel me? And I don't even want to keep going. Go ahead. What else we got?
All right. So goal 4. Ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Translation. Push a false history and a dumbed down education under Common Core education standards that produce obedient workers rather than independent thinkers. Never let people learn real history or else they might realize they don't want to repeat it.
Handmaid's Tale, 1984, Anthem. I can list off. I remember
there's real shit.
There was something that we talked about yesterday. Well, I mean, the other day while we were trying to do this one, that I touched. What was it? We touched down on. What? Oh, okay. Somebody talked about. We were talking about Cuba, right? Yeah. And how communism. Okay. What I can say the good. First of all, the good that came out of the Cuba communism thing is when it first got implemented, they made sure that there was a child literacy program that made sure, we talked about it the other day, my bad, that everybody made sure that everybody knew how to fucking read. You feel me?
Yeah, but at the end of the day.
I know, I understand. At the end of the day, I get it. But we're fucking one of the stupidest countries, we're becoming one of the stupidest countries in the world. That's not even how you're supposed to say it, but.
It's just, we weren't always like that. It's just that every time the bar just drops a little lower because of somebody complaining that their child is like getting left behind.
There you go.
And everyone needs to feel included, and there shouldn't be any competition
anymore.
That's
the whole thing. If your child's not like up to score, they should get left behind.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know, man.
And then I think that it's on the parents to do some extra, at home work with your child to try to get them, it's just, it boggles my mind because I was talking to you about it earlier that when I came here from Romania, I was in kindergarten. Yeah, what the hell are you doing?
Go ahead.
You gotta zoom in on
I lost my train of thought watching
you in Romania.
Like make love over there.
Yeah, don't worry about us.
Yeah,
shit.
What was I saying?
Almost. Judge
about
you.
Romania.
When I came from Romania, I was in like kindergarten and I was doing math already at like a 5th or 6th grade level compared to everybody else. The math that I was doing in Romania was like over everybody's head in America.
Is Romania like communism?
It was.
It grew
but
from
not
communism.
Anymore.
What is it, socialism now?
It's just
some kind of socialist
a beautiful
republic.
democracy. They claim.
Well, I mean,
they claim.
They accepted the Federal Reserve banking system.
It also doesn't help.
Communism doesn't work either, though. There's no right way that we know of yet.
It also, I mean, this is already technically into play because half the things you learn in school are pointless. You know, well, I mean,
Like,
at least
why?
as
They're
you
not
get
preparing
older.
you for life.
Yeah, as you get older, like in middle school and high school, you just learn pointless shit.
I can't believe they don't teach you how to do like your taxes and stuff like that.
That doesn't.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's.
Like,
And you only, and I feel like it's like you only learn how to do your taxes if you actually major in something that has to do with that field.
I'm not about.
If you
but
major,
I feel like everyone should have a basic understanding of
if I'm
it.
about to do my taxes every year for the rest of my life, then at least teach me how to do it at a young age, so I'm doing it good when I get older.
Yeah.
But they don't
Well,
want you to know that
they-
because if you
they
know how
lose
to do,
money.
if you know how exactly, if they know how to, you know how to do your taxes too well, you do them yourself. Maybe you're getting fucking ultimate paybacks and shit like that, and H&R Block and all these motherfuckers. Capitalism, you know, see how good this shit's going.
Yeah, exactly. And literally, like, you could try and major in something like history, and I bet you they don't teach you.
The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Thank you.
I
Thank
remember.
you. The nucleus. That's it. That's all I got.
What's
Alright,
number
well,
5?
Isn't it nucleus?
The nucleus.
It's nucleus.
Nucleus.
She hates that.
She hits when
It's not nucleus.
I'm a mumbler. I'm sorry.
No, that was
I could
very
be-
clear.
I should be a mumble rapper. Go ahead.
That
go
was
ahead.
not mumbling.
Just like she just doesn't like the way people speak. It has
Yeah.
to be.
It has to be how the
Like
Romanian dictatorship is.
She was making fun of me because I wasn't saying nuclear. I was saying nuclear.
No, you were not saying nuclear. That's,
Nuclear.
yeah,
That's what I was saying.
You were
Like,
saying nuclear.
okay, I was saying it fast.
No,
Like,
that's not the word.
All right, go ahead. We're number 5.
goal number 5.
I literally
And-
get that all the time with
Might be.
nuclear.
Well,
Go ahead, number 5.
Learn English. You're in
Um,
America.
Sorry, I don't know 7 languages like you.
goal 5: achieve
terrorist.
gender equality and empower all women and girls.
Oh, this translation's
Oh, we're right here. That's where we're at right now. That's what they're doing right now.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Translation: criminalize Christianity, marginalize heterosexuality, demonize males, and promote the LGBTQ. Well, not Q, it just says LGBT agenda everywhere. The real goal is never equality, but rather the marginalization of shaming of anyone who expresses any male characteristics whatsoever. The ultimate goal is to feminize society, creating widespread acceptance of genital obedience, along with the self-weakening ideas of communal property and sharing everything. Because only male energy has the strength to rise up against oppression and fight for human rights. The suppression of male energy is key to keeping the population in state of eternal adequacy.
You don't have to read every word, Quincy.
I don't know about goal 5.
Yeah, well, I know.
I mean, I agree with
well,
like,
no, the ending part was.
No, but
That's a
half
lot-
of
that's
that-
Sounds
a
like
little
it was
much.
written by a man.
Yeah, a
No.
very
Listen.
sexist man.
half of that was right. Half of that is
No,
right.
that's
kind of
no,
what's going
parts
on
of it.
now.
The
It's like-
beginning and the middle. It wasn't until the whole male
Only
energy
male
has the
energy.
strength
All
to
right,
rise
yeah.
up.
I don't agree with that at all, but I totally believe that they're trying to, I don't know,
Feminized.
feminize the world and
No, without a doubt.
demonize masculinity to an extent. And I agree that there's fucking false masculinity and there's
I
fucking,
don't know.
Wait, there's bitch ass men that are running around thinking that they're alpha males that are not, that they're fucking like
Make me
they're
a
just not.
sandwich.
Yeah, they have just a false sense of what masculinity means, in my opinion, and that's not.
I think this
Go ahead.
this dance is a very dangerous line on like men then trying to reclaim their position and put like the women like back to
All right,
in
forget
the kitchen
wait,
and like
forget
whatever like the women
Forget the
were
last
doing
part.
back-
We're not talking about that. Forget that last
No,
part.
even the beginning part, the fact that like I don't think that the
You don't-
whole world's being feminized.
You don't think that? I talk about this a lot just at home in private. Every single show, and there's not a problem with it. I have no fucking ill feelings about it. Every single show that I watch, and I fucking love TV, and I fucking watch crazy shows and shit. There is an overabundance of just homosexuality. There is and it's not. It's not like it used to be. Like if it was to be sexualized, there was to be a man and a woman having sex. I guess like power-ish. And then recently, over the past 2 years, it's just turned into gay sex scenes. There's nothing wrong with it, but the whole world's not gay. Not
But you
fucking.
don't think it's more
What's
because it's more accepted now? You don't think that's why?
there's a different. I think it's being shoved down our throat, and it's a problem with it, especially when you get children involved and fucking like. I just think it's getting shoved down our throat, and you have to understand. Like, I don't know what the percentage of the population is that is homosexual, but I don't think it's more than fucking 40%.
Yeah.
So if
It's
40
definitely not anywhere
Oh,
near
there
40%.
you go.
That's-
If it's 30%, that's still too much that I've seen in every single show. That it needs to be normalized for what? Everybody, do gay people need to win? Like, is that what it is? I don't
This is
actually
why I
know
don't
what
think
it
needs
is.
to be, because being gay is a sexuality.
That's good.
Period. Not
Yeah,
me,
It's
like,
cool.
Like, I don't talk to my kid about me and his mom having sex. You know what I mean? So why would I talk to him about two men having sex?
Yeah,
It doesn't make any
Exactly.
sense.
It's just
You know what I mean? Like, so being gay is a sexuality. Like, that's just something you don't talk about until you get older.
Well,
it's just
on
that's
top of
simple.
on top of the fact that I don't believe that being gay is a choice. Like I honestly believe you were born that way. There's no way you can tell me, Diggs, that one day you are gonna wake up, and I'm not gonna be profane.
I
I'm
get
not
what
gonna
you're
be
about to say.
I'm not gonna be profane, but I'm gonna say, like, there's not one day that you're gonna wake up and be like, you know what? I think I like men now.
But I have
Just
seen
I knew
girls
what you
do
were
that. I
gonna
have seen
say.
girls
Yeah.
get
but-
with girls
but-
and then go back to guys. So
Yeah,
you
you
can't
know what I
choose
mean?
to be
But that
gay,
could be
'cause I've seen girls do that
bisexuality.
Okay,
before.
okay, but no, but
bisexuality,
see, no. See, yes, because there's a chance that you. I mean, there are women that do think that are attracted to men and women, just like there are men that are attracted to men and women. But there are a lot of females that do that for attention.
all right.
They're not actually. They actually don't find. It's not they don't find females attractive, but they are not gay or bisexual. They're doing it for
Yeah,
attention.
but there's also people that like honestly are just free spirits and love everybody.
Which is
Absolutely.
all
Absolutely.
beautiful and cool. Could we get back to the topic at hand?
This is option 5.
I guess, but
Yeah.
what the point is that
One
we're
more
trying to
thing.
talk about how they're trying to like basically make the whole world bitch ass made motherfuckers.
Okay,
that's what it sounds
because
like.
women are bitch asses.
That's not what the no.
Oh my
Well,
God.
it's come on, bro. Don't play this game. You know what how I feel.
I know. I don't love the way that this is worded.
I totally we weren't talking about how it's worded.
Yeah.
We were talking about the overall concept of them feminizing and demonizing masculinity. Is not that's
But
that's
I
the
don't
point
understand why. Look, I'm by no means like a feminist or whatever. I just don't understand why pussying somebody down is called feminizing it. You know what I mean?
here. Sure. Okay. Then we don't have to use that word. If you if that word upsets you and triggers you, we don't have to use it. Okay. We can make this a safe space for everyone.
all right, wait, all right. So drop
The
it.
demasculinization of the world. Can I
Okay.
say that?
Sure.
I want to say
There you
one
go.
last thing. With all that going on, the demasculating, whatever, all that going on, it's really making people and it's working because it's making people soft. Really making people soft.
And offended.
Think about
Okay. fine.
they're canceling Pepe Le Pew
Which is dumb.
because rape.
Well,
He never raped her. He
well,
was
I'm sorry.
thirsty.
He was chloroforming.
thirsty.
He was chloroforming those bitches, bro.
It
Okay,
was
but
perfume.
all right, but the
Like,
point is like it's not a problem.
This-
Like it's no kid thinks, oh my god, he's chloroforming.
I agree.
That's rape.
I agree.
There's no reason he should have just been canceled without anyone saying anything. They should just not play it anymore.
But no,
like,
why-
it shouldn't
like-
have
But
become
there's a
thing.
big. But the only reason we're talking about it is because some people got upset and said things on the internet about it,
Yeah.
and it got traction, and people agree, and that's crazy in its sense. But what you're talking about is cancel culture, bro. And,
Yeah.
and you know what it is, bro? It's like, when is it too much? And they're calling it like hate speech and shit, but it's only speech they hate. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. It's
Yeah.
becoming a thing to where it's like it's not about like your freedom of speech. It's just if you don't agree with me, that's hate speech.
You're done.
If you don't agree
Yeah.
with me, you're a racist. That's just what it's become.
Yeah.
or
It's
sex-
crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yo,
It's literally
and then,
insane.
But those same people will go turn around and stereotype about something else, about whether whatever the fuck it may
They
be.
will
You
do
feel
the
me?
exact same thing
To
you're
somebody else.
criticizing
Yeah,
you
yeah,
for.
exactly. But they'll do it to a different group of people. Therefore, it's just like listen, either all stereotypes are cool, or none are okay at all.
Yeah.
And I'd rather live in a world with stereotypes personally because it's funny. It makes fucking
Most
good laughs.
stereotypes are funny.
It makes good laugh, but there's as long as when we could finally see past the offense of it, and we could just look at it as funny, the whole
And
world.
I
like,
don't
you know what I
think
mean?
children are viewing it in the way that adults are.
They're not.
You know,
They're
like
not.
That's
to
the thing.
us, like as an adult,
That's-
it looks like
we're
that.
not-
But the kids are like, oh my god, like he's
Yeah.
like they see that he's like creepy and stuff.
Yeah.
Fair enough, but if it's this, if that's teaching our child, that's a bad thing. Went on. It's fine. If that
Keep going.
if they're teaching our child, that's like you know what I mean. Like we have to be keeping tabs on what the fucking cartoons are doing. You feel me?
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's what like what film and everything is about. Like, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, it's art.
But the
thing.
children,
there's
but the
movies
chil-
about
okay,
like
but the
I
children
get it.
are looking,
It's about children. Yeah,
like
I
that,
get
like,
that.
But
like the
all right,
cuties.
But why?
But,
yeah,
all right,
so
but
they're
think
so
about it,
concerned
like-
about children, but cuties is okay. Like that little.
That wasn't canceled.
Whatever.
Yeah, why wasn't that canceled?
That's okay.
But and it's even on top of the fact that when we were children, it was perfectly acceptable for that to be happening. Which
that's
I'm not.
a fact.
I'm not saying it's perfectly acceptable. But what I'm saying is we're growing up, and we clearly know if we watch it now, we're like, yo, he's a son of a bitch.
I'm just saying.
But like, you know what I mean? But we're not sitting there judging it like, you know what, that's horrible. I'm gonna complain. No,
if
we
you
don't.
were, if you
I'm
were
gonna
gonna
complain.
cancel a cartoon,
Where's Disney's manager?
I think I would cancel Johnny Bravo before Pepe Le Pew.
I agree.
I would-
I saw
yeah.
that shit.
You-
Yeah.
If you want me to be technical, I'm canceling Family Guy, or I'm going to tell them to cancel until they get rid of Quagmire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he rapes bitches left
Yeah.
and right. But what?
Yeah.
Because it's an adult cartoon. It's I just
Well, yeah, because for me, I would rather everything be allowed than like fucking everything be censored.
That's
and
the whole
what
point
are
of
we gonna
freedom
have?
of
Like just
speech.
someone
Yeah.
prancing through a field of like fucking
Yeah,
sunflowers?
It really just comes to the fact like if you don't like it, don't watch it, don't pay attention to it. Don't
They
turn
want
on
us
it.
to
Exactly.
live
That's
in
just
like
really
a
what it
bubble.
is.
yeah. They
Like,
want us to be scared to
they-
talk.
yeah.
They want us to be scared to talk to each other, so that way we don't say the wrong thing. So that way it's
Yeah.
cutting us. It's
Yeah.
cutting us
Yeah.
off, and then
Yeah.
you're more easily controlled when you're not in a fucking pack. To people,
I
you
mean,
feel me? In your tribe.
hello. Did you see?
Hello?
Did you see what's happening in China? Literally, the episode of Black Mirror where the girl with the
With the phone.
That's been happening for like 4
but
years.
now it's
bro.
like official, like
It's been
it's
happening for 4
in
years.
No,
like
it's
like for real.
Last one. Ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all.
Translation.
Translation. Penalize coal, gas, and oil while pushing doomed-to-fail green energy subsidies to brain-dead startups headed by friends of the White House who will all go bankrupt in 5 years or less. The green startups make for impressive speeches for media coverage, but because these companies are led by the corrupt idiots rather than capable interpreters, they always go broke. And the media hopes you don't remember all the fanfare surrounding their original launch. For the record, for anybody watching, I did not write any of this.
Billy wrote this entire thing.
I'm
He's
sexist.
obviously sexist.
It's a manifesto. You can check it
Oh,
out.
I shouldn't have fucking said that. He's gonna clip that.
All right. Listen. Green energy is not going to work on the scale and the way that they're doing it. What they should be doing, in my opinion, is alternating currents like Tesla and shit, the way he does shit or should have done shit. But yeah, man, solar doesn't work.
It works to like a smaller.
Yeah,
percent.
it's not gonna work to our.
they're
It's
trying
hot.
to freaking-
It'll not work for
It's
our
not gonna
entire
work
to,
power
like,
grid, bro.
It's not gonna work to max capacity.
Yeah,
I
and
cannot speak
fucking
to that.
wind, that shit don't work either.
It's one of the reasons
And
why
then-
Texas lost all the
Yeah,
power.
and wait, and on top of that, coal is not even that fucking bad in my opinion. I don't agree with global warming. I agree with climate change. That the climate's changing, not that we're having a humongous impact upon
I
it.
don't think I'm not. I don't think
You don't
they're
think
saying,
we're having a humongous impact on the planet?
We are though.
We are in a way, but
We are.
we are in a way, but
In a
Not-
huge way.
it's not us. If it's the companies, it's the fucking companies.
But that's
corporations.
the
Well,
humans.
no, but just humans in general. It may not be you.
But I still
Yeah.
don't. I don't even think that it's all right. I don't think that it's.
Well, it's not as bad as they make it seem. Like, oh, you throw a bottle, and,
Yeah,
you know, on the street.
for the
that's
past-
global
for
It
the
is
past-
when it adds up.
When it adds up, for the past 20
Not that much.
20 years ago, I was fucking taught that global warming was going to kill us in 12 years if we don't do something about it. 20 years ago, I was taught that. In 2001, motherfucking
All right,
Al
well,
Gore.
get ready for the 2,500 avalanche, a great avalanche of 2,500
I think
garbage avalanche.
I think the way that we're doing it right now, like a couple hundred years from maybe 100 or 200 years from now, we're fucked. But not what we were taught. Everybody always said that it was going to be within the next 20 years, and
Yeah,
it's fucking.
I think the timeline is definitely skewed,
but
but
there's a lot of.
I think it's
I think
gonna
they're
happen.
onto something
But
when
there's
it
a
comes
lot
to, like,
more-
pollution and shit.
There's
like
a
that.
lot more going on besides that too. You feel me? Like the polar caps are 100% shifting, bro. That's what's happening right now. You feel me? Like Antarctica and the North Pole are both going to shift to the equator somewhere.
But why?
Why? Because that's what happens with Earth. Earth's been doing this for fucking hundreds and millions of years. Earth, however long Earth has been alive, Earth has been the poles have been shifting because of fucking tectonic plates and the way shit goes and the way I can't explain it in.
He's not a scientist.
If you want me to, we could do a whole thing on it. You feel me? But,
so you're telling me that through the life cycles of Earth, the poles have shifted and like all the polar bears and all the animal life, they all like died out.
Exactly.
And then they moved
Well,
back.
I mean,
So
you look what's going on right now and how bad the polar bears look.
How do you know there were polar bears? There could have been a whole different species, and they found.
I mean, I'm just saying that because I know that they live in.
They found structures in Antarctica. Okay, so that means that there was civilizations in Antarctica at one fucking point, and the only way
if these plates start shifting, then some landmass go up, some landmass go down, above sea level, below sea level.
Yeah.
Well, now we'll finally see if Santa Claus is really there.
Yeah, it's some kind of whatever it is, some kind of aliens and shit. And anyway, I'm just saying, like,
forward to it.
I'm saying, like, this is I believe in this, and I think that they're trying to push this shit when in reality we're not. Like, this shit's not having an effect really, and it's mainly like we have to go after motherfucking, the Chinese manufacturers. But then if we go after the Chinese manufacturers, I can't have my computer. So
very true.
Well, I mean, I can say if everybody took a bottle and threw it on the ground versus everybody else who is taking these bulldozers and knocking down these forests to build condos. It's pretty on a scale. It's pretty bad when it comes to knocking down these trees. Yeah. You know what I mean? Compared to everybody just throwing garbage on the street, that's like a small thing to a giant, because they're really knocking down huge forests just to build these big buildings. Yeah, to build these big buildings so they can make more money. And
I think that even without, let's say that was minimized and the humans were just the pieces of shit that they are, I still think it would be eventually a huge problem.
Well,
eventually.
Eventually.
Does it really matter if it's hundreds of years?
That's
eventually,
why
it doesn't matter because we're going to be dead and we're not going to see it?
That's literally how that's not how I view the world, maybe you guys, but that's how most of people view the world is, hey man, I'm only alive for this fucking amount of time and I'm about to get all I can done in this bitch.
Yeah, but that's terrible. Imagine what if everyone had that mentality.
Everybody does have the mentality.
I don't think so.
You don't think that?
I don't have that mentality.
You don't, but what
I think that the generations before us, I feel like to a certain extent they might have not had that mentality, because I feel like we could have been even worse off than we are now if everybody had that mentality back then.
Which was what?
I don't give a fuck about the earth. Fuck it. Let's destroy it.
That's really how the people in power feel.
Yeah, that's how they see it.
They're trying to block the sun.
It's a resource. Yeah, it's all a resource. It's all fucking money. I just... Listen, bro, I don't litter. I pick up trash. I literally pick up trash that I find on the ground and throw it out at a later date. Put it in my pocket.
All the cigarette
I put cigarette butts in my pockets, and I smell like an ashtray, just so that way I could do my tiny little part to solve things. And that's all I can do.
I don't remember you putting trash in your pocket.
That's probably the only good thing he does in this world.
No, he does a lot of good things.
Although there is one thing that I kind of disagree with in this, when he's saying that they try to push the whole green energy thing. I don't think so, man. I think oil itself is way too valuable to them. That is their money right there. I think oil is way too valuable.
Yeah, but
they've already made their money off the oil.
But they can. Why stop?
That's true.
Why stop when
you? Because
I don't know, man.
But that's what I'm saying. Why would they try to replace it, especially with going green? If they're not going to make any money with going green. How?
Well, because motherfuckers make cars that could run off of water and then end up dead a couple weeks after.
That's what I'm saying. So going green, how are they going to profit off of green?
I don't know, but that's what the agenda they're pushing.
I feel like eventually
you have to pay $5 to cut your grass.
You know what? It's dumb too, because like I was reading about electricity recently and how electricity works. Like you
should get it for free.
You can get it for free. Yeah. Like I could make something in my house right now to get electricity for free. Like,
can you do that? Like that'd be great if I just
I'm not a fucking. It's gonna take me a little while. I got to learn a whole bunch of shit, but you could do it in theory, and I could buy a fucking thing that would do it. But like, that shit's been suppressed. They want to make sure they keep making money. And it was there's a movie about Tesla, and it basically kind of just shows that Thomas Edison was a fucking scumbag. Like he was just all about his money and didn't want to push anything that was more efficient because it would put him out of fucking business. And
was his pigeon in the movie?
I didn't watch the whole thing. It was a little boring, but the way I saw Edison in the beginning for the first half of the movie until I fell asleep was Edison was just a
What
money
movie
hungry.
is this?
It's called Tesla. It's just a boring movie about his life I was watching.
Is it like an old movie?
No, it's new. They just recently made it.
Oh.
Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that shit's suppressed, bro. We all know. I don't know.
Without a doubt, yeah.
Like, because the things Tesla had could have made energy literally free, Wi-Fi literally free. Like anything that had to do with electricity or energy, that shit was covered. Like we good forever as long as we make these fucking things and perfect it to make it a little less dangerous. That's
I mean, you should explain because I think a lot of people might not know what Tesla you're referring to.
Not Elon
about
Musk.
Nikolai Tesla, not fucking Elon Musk's company Tesla that he just probably ripped off.
I had a conversation with someone,
did.
and they were like, "Really? Like Tesla? Like the car has?" And I'm like,
"Are you serious?"
Fucking idiot!
I would have just cried. I would have been like, "Damn, just wasted my whole time."
If you're like
people
that,
legit
go
don't
research
know,
Nikola
they
Tesla.
Don't know
Nikolai
where that
Tesla,
name
yeah.
even came from.
Nikolai Tesla was 1859, I believe he was born. He died early 1900s, maybe like 08 or something. He was
his name and
yo,
shit.
I think that he was a fucking alien, bro. You think people said he was an alien, that he was from Venus. And when you think about aliens, I think that how I see aliens, they're basically just humans. Maybe look a little different than us, but
Well, they were probably here before us. Oh, for all we know, we're the aliens.
we are the aliens. They just dropped us here and forgot about us, basically.
I don't think that aliens.
They dropped
look
us
like
here just to play a game.
I don't think all aliens look like us. I think some aliens look like us.
I think there's different races of aliens.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think we're like in like a skin suit more than anything.
I think there is a certain
So
type
we're
of
bad at
alien
it.
Some
that
of us.
does-
Some of us.
that are similar to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I think that the Pleiadians and the Syrians and the Orions, so they were just those are our home people. You feel me? And then there's other people like there's really reptilians in the world. I said it. All right.
Okay.
There's reptilians. There's grays.
breaking news.
Yeah. Breaking.
On that note.
Anyway, you want to wrap this up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
So
New World Order.
Diggs
Agenda
was supposed to be
2030.
somewhere 3 hours ago.
do your research.
Whoever's waiting on Diggs, he'll be there by the time this is out.
He's on his way right now.
Sorry.
He probably left.
Sorry.
Man. Probably going home, man.
Yeah. Sorry, Diggs.
All
All
right.
right, no problem.
I'm Jay Soul.
I'm Kill Bill.
Kick Diggs.
All right. This is the Eye2Eye cast. Subscribe, like, comment, let us know what's up.
And if you don't,
Fuck you.